Hey, this is Seth from USV, and today I will be talking about a massive tank called, well, nicknamed the Ratte, which is a German P-1000 Land Cruiser. And it was designed during World War II at the end of the war, so it was never really put into production, since it was so huge and they were they didn't really have the money or supplies to make it. So I looked on this site and some other ones, and I came up with some neat facts. So the reason it's called a land cruiser is because it was made to go on land, obviously. Well, it came from a bunch of naval parts, like the 280 millimeter guns that were on the top, and no, they're not all of that, but yeah. So it came from from I think German battleship, but you can fact check me on that if you want. And it was in some naval parts were the 2,000 horsepower marine engines, and I mean z with as in a plural, because it needed 16,000 horsepower to make it move. And since it's too big to go over normal bridges, mainly because of its size, because there are no bridges big enough, but also because any bridge would probably collapse. And it was made kind of to go in rivers and stuff, and to go in water. So it had snorkels, like some cars do, I think, that got air from the outside of the tank to the engine. And it was made out of, and the walls were made out of 25 centimeter thick hardened steel. Which, yikes, because I wouldn't want to be up against that. But the thing is, it was never put into production because it was designed at the end of the war, and they didn't have the money and supplies, and because it wasn't very useful. And although it could shoot the guns for a very long range, it couldn't really move that well. So instead, they put all their supplies into other tanks that were more useful. But it needed a plane, like not a flying plane, like a flat, not hilly area with no trees. And it couldn't really go up against many other tanks because it didn't have small tank guns to go shoot at stuff. It was mainly for taking out things like buildings and cities and shooting up places that were far away. So yeah, it was not very good at destroying other tanks. And I think tomorrow or the next day I will be uploading a video that is about a Russian tank that had walls made of concrete, which they actually made a ton of bunkers on the, I think, west side of Germany during that time, on the like border between them and Britain. And they made a bunch of bunkers made out of concrete because concrete was pretty cheap to make, and they had to get steel to make things like tanks and weapons and stuff. So I'll be looking into that, and I think that's it. So I will see you later, and like and subscribe, and so bye bye.